Chenoweth here, and I'm here with my second video in my Style Yourself Chic video series. So how'd it go? How'd it go with your style action steps from last week? Were you able to easily write down things that you love about yourself? Or was it a bit of a struggle? Did you struggle with that nasty little thought in your head of, well, it could be better? Or if I did this, then it would be different. So how did it go with writing down the 5 character traits that you want to project? Did you write down fun and then think, when was the last time I actually had fun? Real fun. Or write down sexy and think, I don't really have anything in my closet that reflects that kind of feminine, sensual look I want. So maybe both activities came easily to you and you now have a little extra spring in your step. So whether it was easy or hard, I'm here today to share with you my secrets on how to feel great in your skin and really hold on to that feeling so you can enjoy it every single day. But first, I want to share with you one of the problems I see so many of my clients and women in general struggling with that they honestly don't even realize is a problem. We touched on it a little bit in the first video, but I'm here today to take it a little bit deeper. Self-worth. This is the value we place on ourselves and our dreams. It sounds so simple, and yes, oh yes, we all have self-worth, we all need self-esteem and confidence. But think about it. When's the last time you actually valued your time and didn't feel guilty that you weren't perhaps spending time with your husband, your kids, working, or doing something for someone else, or something that was necessary, but truly doing something for you that really brings you joy? Maybe it's as simple as you don't allow yourself to talk openly and honestly about your achievements and the things you want out of life. I personally find that with so many women I know, as well as my clients when I first start working with them, that they're very hesitant in saying that I'm really great at doing this, or I just got a promotion at work. We as women have a tendency to lessen ourselves, to lessen our value, to lessen our successes, and to instead harp on the things that we didn't do as well, we haven't done yet, we need to lose weight, we need to do this. And we don't just focus on it, we love to talk about it. And sadly, those are the things that we start to remember. Those are the things we start to define ourselves by, and our value and self-worth. I want to share a secret with you. Spending time on yourself, time for yourself, time for things you love is not selfish. Talking about the things that you love and that are important to you and that you value about yourself, that's not being boastful. That's not being narcissistic. Making sure that we love ourselves and take care of ourselves actually allows us to see ourselves in a more positive light, which then allows us to better take care of our families, take care of our work, be a better friend, and all around have more healthy relationships. But it starts with us first. So how do we hold on to our positivity? How do we start seeing ourselves in this new, fresh light and seeing our self-worth? In the last video, I had you do a little prep work. I had you write down the 5 things you love about yourself and the 5 character traits you want to project. So now we're going to take a little bit deeper and talk about how to actually achieve these things that we want to project. So the first way that you can really look at yourself in a whole new light is, sounds very simple, but think about your style history. So in the last video, you heard me talk about my style history and kind of how I got out of my rut and into a place that feels much more positive and happy. So how do you do this? I encourage you to spend a little time writing it out. It can just be bullet points. So where do you begin? And I also want to tell you that a lot of my clients say, I don't have a style history. Everyone has a style history. Even if it wasn't as eventful as what you think it should be, everyone has one. So begin with childhood. What did you wear? Did your mom dress you? Did your grandmother dress you? Was everybody in your family a tomboy and you just didn't really care? Think about that. And then think about high school and college. Like, did you start dressing, 70s bohemian, or were you in high school in the 80s and you maybe loved Madonna? Then think about after college. Were you in a career where you had to wear suiting? Did you have children? Were you running around, barely able to take time for yourself? And then all the way to present day. So I really want you to think about your style history and spend some time writing it down. A lot of my clients find it helpful to look at pictures. Maybe you've got a scrapbook or something to kind of jog your memory. So why is knowing your style history even important? Well, it is the easiest way to kind of see where you've gotten in style ruts, and if you've been able to get out of them in the past, it'll help you know how to do it again. It helps you see where you've been and where you want to go. So the next activity that you can do is, again, very simple. Go through a fashion magazine. So while simple, it seems quite daunting to many of my clients. When they first come to me, they oftentimes have only ever looked at home or maybe food, cooking magazines, and that's okay. That's totally fine. But they seem to think that magazines aren't for them. They're not relatable at all. I'm here to tell you they actually are, but there's a science to all of this. So I want you to take a moment before we get into the activity and think about this. Say you're going to a museum, a very fabulous museum like the Met in New York, and you see all this amazing art and you admire it and you love it, but you wouldn't necessarily put one of those pieces in your home, would you? Probably not. But perhaps you see something at a local gallery in your hometown that reminds you of something you really loved at the Met, and you bring that home with you and you put it in your home and it makes you happy. Magazines are the same thing. So let me explain. Go through a magazine and you see all of this high fashion, things that models are wearing and, just not relatable to you. But what you can do is see what you're loving and then break it down and make it relatable to you. So I encourage you to then go through the magazine, circle anything you like, but not full outfits. So circle a color you like, makeup you like, a pattern you like, a skirt silhouette you like. Do it once, take a little break from it, do it again, and you will see a theme. I promise you're gonna see a common theme of what you're loving, and you can then, just like the Met analogy, take the high-end fashion and make it your own. And really look at the things that you're circling. Are they in your closet? Are they reflective of the character traits that you wrote down that you want to project? It's really important after this activity to then think about it and how it can then boost your self-esteem and your personal style. So the third and final way that you can really incorporate your authentic self into your everyday style is by figuring out who your style icon is. So this is something, again, that when I ask clients, who's your style icon, they very rarely know, and that's okay. That's totally fine. That's why you're here today. So why is it important for us to have style icons? It's really important because it helps us see, from a visual standpoint, what we're loving and how to turn what we like into an actual wardrobe, into outfits. If you think about it, a lot of style icons, a lot of celebrities have someone like me helping them with their wardrobes. So why not steal those ideas and use them for yourself? I'd love to share with you a story about my client Frances and her style icon. It's such a great story. Frances and I have been working together over the course of a few years now. When she first came to me, her style was extremely eclectic, all over the place, and that's where she wanted it to be. But something was missing. Something was never quite right, and she couldn't pinpoint it. So after much deliberation and lots of these kind of style activities, she finally had an aha moment. She realized that while she had been very drawn to the bohemian eclectic look, it wasn't feeling authentic to her. When she saw a picture of Diane Keaton, it really jogged her memory as to what she really wanted to be projecting to the world. So looking at the images of Diane Keaton and her awesome classic meets minimal meets menswear style really spoke to her in a very deep way. It finally gave her the little oomph and the confidence she needed to discard the bohemian things that weren't serving her anymore and really embrace her true style. So this week, your style action step is to do these 3 activities. Again, carve a little bit of time out of your schedule. I know you can do it. It's gonna be hard, but you can do it. And find your style icon, circle things you like in a magazine, and most importantly, write down your style history to see where you've been and where you wanna go. I know you'll get a lot of value out of these 3 activities. All of my clients do. In the next and final video in my Style Yourself Chic video series, I'll be sharing with you how to once and for all get out of your style rut. Thanks as always for watching, and I'll see you next time.